Night Flight 717 was cruising at 36,000 feet above the Atlantic Ocean when the first scream echoed through the cabin. The aircraft, a massive twin-engine jet bound for London, had taken off smoothly from New York. Most passengers were asleep. The cabin lights were dim. Outside the windows, there was nothing but endless black sky. In the cockpit, Captain Elias Ward checked the instruments. Everything was normal. Then the temperature dropped. His co-pilot, Mira Chen, rubbed her arms. "Did you feel that?" Before he could answer, the radio crackled with a burst of static. Loud, violent, unnatural. The navigation screens flickered. For a split second, every display went black. When the systems came back online, there was something wrong. A new signal appeared on the radar. It wasn't another plane. It was inside the plane. A dark shape slowly formed in the reflection of the cockpit windshield. At first, Captain Ward thought it was a trick of the light, but the reflection did not move with them. It stood behind them, tall, twisted, hollow eyes like burned-out stars. Mira turned slowly in her seat. There was nothing there, but in the reflection, the figure leaned closer. The cockpit door slammed shut on its own. The autopilot disengaged. "Who's back there?" Ward shouted, spinning around. That's when the lights exploded. Glass shattered inward as if struck by invisible fists. The plane lurched violently. Oxygen masks dropped in the cabin as passengers woke to chaos. Inside the cockpit, a shadow took shape, no longer a reflection, but real. Its body looked like smoke woven into the shape of a man. Its mouth opened wider than humanly possible. Mira screamed as an unseen force lifted her from her seat. She was hurled against the ceiling with a sickening crack before collapsing motionless onto the controls. The Ghost turned its hollow gaze to Captain Ward, who grabbed the controls, fighting to steady the aircraft. The yoke jerked wildly in his hands. The altimeter spun. The engines roared unevenly. "You don't belong here," Ward whispered. The creature leaned forward and pressed its smoky hand against his face. Everything went silent. When passengers pounded on the cockpit door minutes later, they received no answer. Inside, the captain sat frozen in his chair, eyes wide, skin pale as frost, dead. The plane began to descend. In the cabin, overhead bins burst open. Luggage flew through the air. A child pointed toward the front of the plane. "The Shadow Man," he whispered. The cockpit door slowly creaked open. The Ghost now sat in the captain's seat. Its hands gripped the controls with unnatural precision. Outside the windshield, the ocean rushed closer. Flight 717 changed course without clearance, without communication. Radar operators on the ground watched in confusion as the plane veered sharply off its flight path. The Ghost did not want to crash. It wanted somewhere specific, an abandoned airstrip long erased from modern maps. The aircraft descended smoothly, impossibly steady for a plane with no living pilot. When the wheels touched the cracked runway, there were no lights, no ground crew, only darkness. The engines shut off by themselves. Silence. Rescue teams searching for Flight 717 would later find no wreckage in the ocean, no distress call, no signal. Weeks later, hikers near the forgotten airfield reported seeing a large jet sitting intact on the runway. Its doors were open, the seats were empty, and if you walk inside at night, some say you can still hear the cockpit radio crackling, waiting for its next flight.